I think everybody benefits from three-car teams in Formula One because at the moment the grid's been dwindling. We know that sponsorship is difficult to find, and I think three-car teams will lift the show and will give the teams a new opportunity to raise sponsorship.
I can't see third cars being a benefit to anybody. This will create fewer power brokers in the paddock who are hardwired to think only of their own teams and not for the greater good of the sport. McLaren, for example, are struggling to find a title sponsor for their two-car teams. I'm told it'll take at least £35 million to run a third car. I don't want to see drivers in those cars that have had to find the money. We want to see the best drivers on the grid. It's not the way forward.
Well, financial implications of three-car teams are clear. It's a better opportunity to raise more money. Right now, McLaren, until now, this year, have not had a title sponsor. If they had another option out there, market a third factory car around a driver that perhaps was good for the Japanese market, don't forget they're with Honda, and then later in the year, good for the US market, that opens new opportunities, new doors for sponsors to come in. We need to be creative. One of the great things about three-car teams is that it will enable younger drivers to have an opportunity finally to get into Formula One with a serious team. I should make it clear here that in my view a third car should only be run by a factory, and this should be part of the rules, if the driver does no more than 50% of the races, and perhaps we have a limit of no more than 4 drivers driving that same third car in one season. The reason I say that is because we do want a turnover of new young drivers.
Whilst I can see young drivers might get a chance to step into a third McLaren or a third Ferrari, I think it's better for them in a lower team, as we saw with Alonso and Webber at Minardi, we saw with Ricciardo at HRT. Senna came in a Tolman. Start off out of the spotlight a little bit, learn your trade properly and prepare yourself mentally, physically, technically, nutritionally for the big team. And when you're ready, step up. I think in the end it's going to confuse the viewer. Will they be in a different colour scheme? Can they score points? If they can, then it'll wipe out the midfield and the tail enders. If they can't score points, effectively they're ghost cars going around, and we'll have to be second-guessing who else is scoring points further down the field. Will those third-car drivers go on the podium, for example?
I don't think there'd be any confusion for the viewer at all. I think a lot of people confuse three-car teams with drivers who would not be eligible for points. Why would the drivers not be eligible for points? If heaven forbid, one of the current drivers is seriously injured now, he can be replaced, and his replacement driver can score points for himself and for the team, and so it would be for the third car. What's wrong with that? Well, I think three-car teams would give us more depth and stability because there would be gaps that would be filled finally. At the moment, we're gasping for breath in Formula One, wondering where we're going to go. Are we going to try and cut costs? And don't forget, there's another element here. It's not only young drivers, it's the young engineers, it's the young team managers, it's the next Frank Williams of this world that we also want to encourage. Let's give them an opportunity, perhaps, to run that third car under the umbrella of the factory team.
There's enough money in Formula One to run 12 two-car teams with profit at the end of the season. That's what we need to do. We're spending far too much money. We're not maximising the global income, especially with new and social media. We've got an ageing audience. We have to control the way that we spend money in Formula One. And three-car teams address none of those issues.
I think three-car teams will make the racing much better. There'll be more cars, more competitive cars for a start. There'll be hungrier, younger drivers out there who've got an opportunity to go racing, finally, that they would never have had.
The best model for me would be 12 teams of 2 cars, 6 manufacturers with works teams and 6 teams with customer cars. Imagine a grid full of Toro Rossos and Red Bulls as the model, but with separate owners, so that we've got credible and long-term investors in the sport, as well as the manufacturers. Then we'll have breadth, and we'll have depth, and we'll have lots of interest. That's the way forward for Formula One.
In my view, the third car solution is the perfect one, providing the third car's in a different livery, providing the driver can score points, and providing we have a turnover of drivers in that third car.
I've always respected Peter's opinion and knowledge over the decades, but I don't agree with him on this subject.